Okay guys, this is Q1W8D skill practice. This is the last worksheet you're going to do before you take our test. So here we go. Least to greatest. We've got 4 numbers here. I'm immediately seeing this 7.8%, and I'm going to realize that's probably going to be the smallest. None of these others are going to be that small. That's like 7 cents. Just tuning into that. That's about 7 cents. So that's going to be the smallest. So I'm going to get rid of this choice. I'm going to get rid of this choice. So now I'm looking at it, and I see that 8 sevenths is at the end for both of these. And that's definitely the largest. That's going to be 1 and 1/7, which is 1.1428. But you don't even need to worry about that. As soon as you see that 1, that it's a whole number, you know that's going to be the largest. Because both of these, this is going to be 0.78, and this is going to be 0 point something. So most kids are probably going to be hung up on this. If you remember 7/8, some of you might remember the tricks that we've been talking about. You can go ahead and set up a division house. 7 divided by 8, top number in the house. 8 doesn't fit into 7. 8 goes into 78 times. So wait a minute, it's 875, the whole thing, but even if you didn't have the rest of that done, as soon as you see that that 0.8's there, you know that this was 0.78, 0.7, 0.8. It's got to be this one as your ordered least to greatest. Next comes over here, we've got the, focus it, we've got the negative powers of 10. 10 to the negative 4. It's not going to be a negative answer, so let's get rid of those. It's not going to be a big number because negative makes it a small number. It's going to have a total of 4 zeros in the front, including the 1 in front of the decimal. And it's also going to have a total of 4 zeros as a fraction. 1 over 10. The only other thing you might see is that it might be, they might write it as 1/10 times 1/10 times 1/10 times 1/10. They might have it like that as well. All right, scientific notation. Smallest to largest, 1 being the smallest, 4 being the largest. I see, I'm going to look at my exponents, and none of them are tied, so we're going to be able to do this real easily. I see 7's the largest, that's going to be 4. I see -7 being the smallest. So then 4 is the next largest, and that leaves us with that. Moving on. 6.28 times 10 to the -6. It's going to be a small number. I'm going to get rid of the large options. And it's going to have a total of 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to double check. The decimal was here. It's going to slide left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. That's the one. Over here, it's a positive exponent. It's going to be a large number. I'm going to get rid of these choices. So we're down to these. Is it going to have 8 zeros? No. It's going to have, these two take places. These two are going to be in place values when you slide this 8 to the right. This is going to be only 6 zeros are necessary. So it's going to be this. This would go right 8 places. So there it is. Moving on. Each true equation. So this is an equation. This one's true. 19 times 19 is that. Now 13 times 13 is 169, but wait a minute. If it was the other way around, 169 equals 13, then it would be okay, but we don't want that because the radical's around the wrong number. This is 2, this is 3. Square root of 5 is 2 point something something something. That's not going to work. Square root of 144 is 12. That is true. Square root of 400 is 20. Let's see, that's not a perfect square. None of these are perfect squares. It's not going to work out nicely. All right. So now we have the ones that are true here. This is going to be 3. That works out to -3, but then comes out positive. So this one's true. This comes out positive. That's not going to be true. 0.18 is not the same thing as 1/8. That comes out positive. This is true. This comes out positive. This is true. Let's see, that comes out as 5. This comes out as, or Working it out, you get -5, then it comes out positive. So this one's true also. Okay, we have absolute value of -6.3. First of all, you'd never have a distance be negative. Next, we're going to go, -6.3 on the number line would be right here, and it's 6.3 away from 0. So there it is. All right. Club pays a band $150 plus $7 per person that comes to see them. The band has to pay $80 for advertising. How much money does the band make if 15 people show up? Only 15 people. That's a rough night. Okay, $150 plus 7 per person. And then the band has to pay $80. So 150 plus 7 per person, then take away $80 in advertising. So we've got 150 plus 7 times something minus 80. And we're going to put in the 15. That's the number of people that show up. And I'm going to go grab a calculator because my brain is slow this morning. And the sensor lights came back on. So I'm going to go ahead and do 7 times 15. And oops, that's weird. I'm going to go ahead and do 7 times 15. And I get 105. I'm going to double check that. 150 plus 105 minus 80. Then I'm going to go 150 plus 105. And I get 255. And then I take that away, that 80. And I'm going to go minus 80. Minus 80. And I get 175. The band made 175 for that night. Hopefully they don't have too many people in the band. So, all right, moving on. 15% tip for a meal that costs $82.48. 2 ways you can do this. So they're just asking for the tip amount. So this is a one operation. You could go 15% of $82.48. You could go 0. That would be, you could just type that in your Desmos calculator. You could go 0.15 times 82.48, and you'd end up getting 0.15 times 82.48, and you get this 12.372. So is it going to stay at 37 cents or go up to 38? The 2 tells it to stay the same, so it's going to be 12.37. The other way you could do it as well is you could set up a proportion. You could go 15% is what out of 82.48, and you could do it that way too. Over here we've got a map. As soon as you see the word map and they're giving you inches to miles, immediately set up your proportion. So they say the distance between 2 towns is 7 inches. If 3/5 of an inch is 80 miles, how much is the actual distance? Well, we're dealing with inches to miles. And they're telling us, now be real careful. Don't automatically just stick the 7 with the 3/5. Because just, if they give you this is the complete ratio right here. I'm going to go ahead and say 80 miles. And instead of 3/5 of an inch, I'm going to make my 3/5 into a decimal. 0.6. And on this one, since you're allowed a calculator, you could have done 3 divided by 5, and you'd still get 0.6. So now I'm going to get my 7 inches. That's inches. Anything dealing with inches is going to be up top. So now I'm going to go 7 times 80 divided by 0.6. I'm going to go ahead and type it in. 7 times 80 divided by 0.6. And we get 933.33333, and so on. That's going to be 933, about 933 miles. And there you go. Let's keep on going. Okay, similar figures. I'm going to go ahead and draw some little quick sketches here. The right angle goes with the right angle. This longer leg to hypotenuse is going to go longer leg to hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side that's opposite the right angle. I'm going to go ahead and mark this angle with a double arc and this one with a double arc, because you'll start to see that as we get into that unit. So shortest side, I'm going to go ahead and go small triangle to big triangle. I'm going to go C goes with E. They're both the shortest sides. B goes with F. And A goes with D. So they said two proportions that go together, that work. So I'm going to go ahead and look at C to E. Well, C's not even with anything, the proper thing. C could be going with B, but then E would have to be over here. So here we go. Here's one that looks good. C to E, and then B to F, B to F. So top, bottom, right, top, bottom, left, right. That's going to work. C and E are diagonal from each other. That's a big no-no. They're either going to be across, directly across, or in the same ratio, but they'd never be diagonal. That's a big no-no. Okay, let's look at this bottom one. So we've got D to A. Hey, we've got D underneath A, and then F to B, we've got F underneath B. So I'm going to go ahead and go top, bottom, bottom up, top, bottom, bottom up. So it's going to be that one. Eventually these will be numbers in here, and we'll be solving for missing sides. Okay, reflections over the x-axis. So this is a little tricky because this was 3 below, now it's going to be 3 above. 3 below, 3 above. A was 8 below, now it's 8 above, now it's going to be 8 below. So this is the first one where we've had the picture kind of spin upon itself. Kind of makes this really cool symmetrical looking thing. Alright, so now we've got point B horizontally negative 20 units. Point B's original location is at 5, negative 3. 5, negative 3. And then from there, if we're moving horizontally negative 20, we're going to go left 20. That means we're not touching y value. So the y value is going to stay exactly the same. The x value, if we're going left 20, we're taking 20 away from my positive 5. That's going to put you at negative 15. So negative 15, negative 3. You could literally just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go all the way, but that's going to take forever. You run out of paper space as well. So negative 15, negative 3. All right, rolling a number cube. How many times should I roll a multiple of 3? Let's see, a multiple of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all the numbers you could roll on a number cube. Hey, that's a multiple, that's a multiple. So there's 2 out of 6 multiples of 3, equaling out of 38. I'm going to go ahead and type it in. I'm going to go 2 times 38 divided by 6. 2 times 38 divided by 6. And we get 12.66667. That's going to round to about 13 times. All right. Over here, you could go negative 8 parentheses plus 4 parentheses. And we're going to go ahead and put in a negative 3. We're going to go ahead and put in a negative 5. Now, if you have a Desmos calculator, you could type this in, and it'll give you the answer. Let's go ahead and go through the process, though. This is going to be a 24, because negative 8 times negative 3 makes positive. I'm going to bring down my plus. That's going to be negative 20. Now, plus and negative can actually just become a single negative. 24 minus 20 gives you 4. All right. So we're going over this. We've got 6, 4. That's going to be 4. That's going to be 6, and that's going to be 5. How many people took the test? 6 and 4 make 10. That's 10, and then That's 25 total. Between 70 and 91. How many students scored between 70 and 91? Between 70 and 91 would be these. So if 6 and 4 make 10. What percentage scored above 80? So that's going to be 11. 6 and 5 make 11. 11 out of 25 total. So you could just divide that out. Or you could also say equals something over 100. And you're going to get 44%. All right. Let's keep on going here. All right. So which equation makes the table? If they give you a 0 input, tune into that immediately, because this right away will give you a lot of information. We know this is not going to be a multiplication problem because anything times 0 would be 0. And then basically you can go, hey, what did I do to 0 to get to 20? I added 20 to it. Let's just double check that this works for all of them though. If I put a -4 plus 20, yep, that checks out. Even if I did it here, 8 plus 20, we're going to get that. So if I put in a 15, 15 plus 20 is going to give me 35. And then is this additive or proportional? Well, if I'm adding something, it's additive. Also, if I did 8 times, it's not proportional also because 8 times 16 divided by -4 doesn't give you 28. So it's going to be additive. All right. Here's this one. We've got 4x. We've got -2. We've got the equals. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, and it's -12. From here, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I'm going to get 4x equaling -10. I'm going to divide by 4. I'm going to get x equaling -2.5. So that means each of these is -2.5. So that would give us -2.5 times 4 gives me -10, and then put 2 more negatives with that. That does give you -12. Finally, we've got the inequality we're going to do. And we're going to solve for n before we do anything. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. I get n is less than -2. So on my number line, I'd have a -2 marked. I'd have an open dot above it because it's not allowed to be part of the answer. And then less than, anything less than that. So this choice is less than -2. This is also. That's -2, but it's not. If it was a solid dot, if it was or equal, then it would be allowed. None of these others are going to be allowed to the party. So that's it. That was the Q1W8 skill practice done in about 18 minutes. So about a minute per problem. All right, that's it. So you'll have a big test on this coming up soon. Best of luck to you guys.